athlete held tight with glee, hunt OPC his battle cry. Stars and moons light up the sky. OPC hunt, OPC, through the cosmos wild and free. Romulans and foes we fight, community our guiding light. Battling communists with cheer, reduces courage, knows no fear. With every clash and mighty roar, victory's prize forevermore. OPC hunt, OPC, through the cosmos wild and free. Romulans and foes we fight, community our guiding light. Battle anchor ship does soar, reducing its heart and core. Galactic winds, they lead our course, unity our driving force. Unity our driving force. OPC hunt, OPC, through the cosmos wild and free. Romulans and foes we fight, community our guiding light.
Who knew y'all wanted me to blow out your eardrums? I had no idea. My Atlanta. Just can't make old people happy. 1 second. Give me one more second. 5 more seconds. That's all I ask. Just a few more heckin' seconds. I'm just sharing this out in all the different social medias. Okay?
Unity our driving force.
I'm just trying to retrieve the stream. Give me a second. I'm retrieving the stream. All right, jokes aside. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. There we go. Hey, welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. All right, so, oh boy. Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the stream. It's Wednesday. It's retrieving day. Hey, retrieving day. Woo. Yay, retrieving. Welcome in. We got a lot to talk about. If you can't see your task, that's okay, because there's probably like 3 of them you can see. Go do those. I'm just kidding. Just wait. The answer is wait. The answer is hurry up and wait, everybody, because it would not be a perfect alliance tournament without a perfect alliance failure. We're also going to be going over several other things today. I do plan on doing some player account reviews. We'll make sure that we get there in time. However, there are some things that I want y'all to be made known of, because that's my job. So for example, this absolutely insane PACK SNAFU that just happened. And yeah, normally, look, I try not to be the Debbie Downer guy. I really don't like that. Y'all know that this stream, we don't really do negativity. It's not my thing. However, this happened. The only reason it comes up is because we had people purchase it. Now, only a few dozen were able to actually get their hands on it. But, what was Scopely's response? They yanked it. Why? Because people who bought it got 650,000 Pioneer Crests, and they were yanking them from folks. Now, there is a a recompense coming to the players who made the purchase and are having things yanked from them. But, woof, I don't know. Look, I'm not an attorney, but I feel like that's a little bit of a, I feel like that's an area of wow. It's an area of, can you do that? I don't know. I'm saying vocally, I don't know, but it just kind of seems like, can you yank something that people bought? Is that something that you can do? I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm just letting you know what happened. And for everybody who missed out on it, well, as always, the only way to take advantage of stuff like that is to spin it as soon as you get it. So, but here we at. And for those who've been wondering why maybe your VIP's been really mad, very mad. Like, this upset quite a few people. Now, it upset people for two reasons. Either one, they were upset that they bought it and then were having things yoinked, or they were upset that two, somebody else bought it and they didn't get to buy it. So, yay. Moose is here. Moose is level 70. Moose, did you get to buy the infamous 650,000 Pioneer Crest pack for 50 bucks and then spend it all before they could take it from you? Curious. If you didn't, no big deal. I'm just curious because, woof. This is, and to be clear, this is not the first time Scope has ever removed items from a player's inventory. However, it is the first time I can recall this happening to a pack item. So it's happened before with like events, and Scope was like, you can't do that. That was an exploit. And then they'll yank those things. But I've never seen it for something like this. And I was talking to one of the VIP moderators, and they were just like, man, people are absolutely irate. So that was a thing. That was a thing. We'll see what comes of it. I just am letting y'all know why many of your VIPs might be a little bit angry right now. Not justifying it, just saying, hey, now you know. Just like, you know, retrieving. Hey, look, you can kind of tell by the logo, kind of. I'm not going to risk it, though. I'm not going to say, I know what that is. 55,000, that's Grind Proto Matter. I know exactly what that is. That's Grind Pro Matter, but I'm waiting. Moose says he only found out about it this morning. So Moose, now I've identified the problem. The problem is you're not on my Discord because I posted on my Discord when it happened. Now I just got to get Moose. Quit his job, focus on me, ignore his family, and he'll know all the things about STFC. Good to see you though, Moose. Edward says, why have so many priority one away team events? You can't do that many without spending. You answered your question inside of your question. Fantastic. Did you see that you did that? You answered the question inside the question. So yeah, that would be the reason. So for me, I don't really mind it. Like, I don't care. Why? Because if y'all remember, one big thing that I preach so much, and I promise we're going to make some more merch for this and everything. Check it out on revenues.com if you want some. Ignore FOMO, have fun. When they put out those style of events, I just do what I can do. And if I don't progress, oh well. Now, I will say this for those who are in my Discord. Shout out to Moose. I'm just picking on you because I love you. Shout out to Moose. But in my Discord, I did get one crit. It took me a couple days to save for it. But this morning, I hit this button, and like, this was really juicy. So today, Rev did this. I had to take a screenshot because it was so fantastic. Critical success on a rare 15,500 Pioneer Crest. Absolutely wonderful. There you go. So, you know, if you're working towards this, definitely a lot of value in these missions, but don't worry about, you know, like, oh, you got to run 6 of them. No, you don't. Run what you need to run. Focus on you. Get your account good and solid. And if you do decide to buy a pack and do that, that's your prerogative. But be like Rev and just be like, hey, do what I'm going to do and ignore the rest. So, but if those are curious, this is why. It's a great example of why I push everybody, get to the rares. If you are G4 and above, get to the rares, right? Because this is what you want to hit. I actually had a higher critical chance than success chance on this one, but got to get to the rares if you're G4 and above, because that's the sweet spot, to the point that I want people to save their currencies until a rare spawns and then run the rare, which, yes, I'm saying ignore commons, right? Ignore the epics to an extent if you're needing to farm that currency, and just focus in on the rares. And again, you can see why I suggest that method, because of the efficiency between the star charts. I keep calling them star charts, but the currency it costs to start. So you see, I'm down to 12 on my planetary charts. But between the currency it costs to start and the rewards, there's just no real better value than the rares. So run the rares. Now, if you are indifferent to that, maybe you don't really care about being ultra efficient, you just want to keep things running, completely understand that as well. There's no really wrong answer. But if you are trying to go, hey, how can I get the most bang for my proverbial buck here? Well, that's going to be running the rares. That is still the most lucrative way to go about it. But yeah, good to see everybody. Not to mentioning, if you get to level 60 million rep and you start getting those favors done, that also is absolutely great. Valhalla, welcome in. Good to see you. So, Patrick says that pack was not the only pack that was wrong. That was the only pack that I'm aware of that had such a lucrative offer. However, there might have been another. When I was running through the variety selects on my accounts, I didn't have anything special. But and I've said this before on stream, I'm not really much of a spender. I do spend on STFC. I'll never hide that. I tell everybody what I spend. Heck, y'all see what I spend because I always do it on stream. But I'm not really much of a spender, so I'm not regularly checking the packs. And I do keep an eye out on the VIP Discord, but I'll be honest, I'm not always looking at that either. So I'll actually miss a lot of the pack-related things that happen unless somebody brings it to me. So, yeah. The start costs for the Epic P1s are way too expensive for what you get out of them. It depends, Kal-El, because long-term, once people get their Reliant, once people are doing all those grinds, I don't think it'll be that bad. But yeah, like away teams when it first rolled out, there is a, kind of a lengthy buy-in. And then once you actually get through that process, it becomes pretty easy and very lucrative. You just actually got to get deep into the process. And that's kind of the key. Sugar Fat Man, good to see you. Welcome in. Flash Man, good to see you as as Joanne. So another scopely mix-up is the current cons challenges are not in the folder, and the picture doesn't match the required officers. Noted. Scud Mill says, how can I unlock the super highways in the new augment space? I'm Ops 50. So the new ones you're talking about, hold on, there we go. These beautiful reds right here. Got to get that rep up. What is your rep at, Scud Missile would be the question. Sean Brown, good to see you. Welcome in. Drive-by Death Punch, welcome in. I think that was rep. Hold on, let me double check. Make sure, because it's a Reliant and I think a rep lock. Could be both. Let me double check. I think it's rep and Reliant locked. 1 second. Trying to move quickly. So yeah, it's ops. So there is an ops lock and a Reliant lock. So, Meme, hey, good to see you. So let's put this on the screen real quick, just because I like to answer questions and provide the materials for what we're answering. Yo, Chris, thank you so much. Says, thanks for the great info. I have been playing a few months and tell the newbies to check you out. I really appreciate that, Chris. My goal is to help you whether you're level 7 or 7D. It's kind of my thing. So there are both ops locks and Reliant locks for the super highways. As you can see, the super highways are a favor right here at the bottom. The first one is available at ops 40 and above, costs you 100 credits. The second one is ops 51 and above, costs you 200. And then there are other ones down at the very end for our G6 players. So those are incumbent upon you having number 1, the Reliant, and number 2, the ops. I was saying rep earlier. That's a correction on mine. Ops lock. Well, I think hopefully you knew what I meant. If you didn't know what I meant because I said the wrong thing, now you can see it. So yeah, ops lock, not rep lock, and Reliant lock. Any word on the Alliance tournament saying retrieving? I mean, they're going to fix it. I don't have like a, hey, in 7 minutes, guys and gals, it's fixed. I can assure you they know about it and they're not ignoring it. So yeah. Yeah. What's been taken? Do we need to start throwing tea in the harbor again? Well, D-Man, this was more of an informative post. I know people are rolling in, so I'll throw it back in on the screen. But we had this pack that came out yesterday, and a few dozen people bought it. And as you can assume, for $50, you're not actually supposed to get 656,000 Pioneer crests. Now, another one of our players also said that was a oopsie, that there was more than one oopsie. So, yeah. But anyway, that was a big one. And then the takeaway is the Pioneer crest, they're taking them out of players' accounts, saying, you weren't supposed to buy that, give it to me. But they're also going to give something in return to those players, and that's being deliberated. So, yeah, there you go. Just keeping everybody informed. James says, who did that tune for you? That is AI. Yeah, I've got AIs doing things now because, well, Rev's broke and AI is cheaper than musicians. No offense, musicians. I think you should always pay musicians. But yeah, that was AI. Now, granted, I don't think it's near as good as what a real human would do, to be very clear. A real human would be significantly better if you could afford to actually pay a band and a musician and a singer. But yeah, it was just a quick AI thing we mocked up. So you should learn to play instruments yourself. I can play a guitar, like the chords, but I don't think people want to hear me sing my own intro song. All right, feels there's way more oopsies recently than there used to be. Ender Hall, look, I'll say this. I think that's recency bias. I also think it depends on where we're taking that. Over the past 6 months, stability has been good. Over the past 2 months, stability has been poo-poo. So it depends on where we're really comparing, right? This game has always done this, and not a lot of this. And if you've been here a while, you've probably experienced that. So you get a lot of, wow, look, everything's been great for a while. And then holy crap, they just managed to kill everything. That's just what this game does. So right now we're in one of these, and hopefully we can get back to one of these. Yeah, I'm not happy about it. I guess I've become a little bit numb to it because been here 7 years, worked with them for 6 of those years. And this is pretty normal. I guess that's sad. Charles, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Support the family. Welcome on in. If you have questions, throw them in. If you've got gripes, complaints, throw them in, because look, man, I'm not going to sit here and defend retrieving. This has been a week of cluster messes, and yeah, it's not been great. How's the survey going? Thank you, Simon, for directing us to our next topic. If you have not done the survey yet, I am encouraging you to do it. If any time is a good time to do it, now's the time. Let me know your responses. So, if y'all would like to see the survey, we'll have the results when I close it. I don't think there's really a point in going over all the results before it actually closes. I can give you an idea of what all is happening. Real quick though, let me put up the survey for those who haven't filled it out yet. This is what it looks like. Link is in the chat. Any idea what happened to Incursions? Yes, Incursions was canceled for a couple of things, but the main reason being anticipated issues, especially with all the stability problems. But there are things being worked on to rectify that. So wait and see. But that's what that is. Now, the good news to me is that all these big problems are happening during the 2-week break we have between the next arc. And not that I'm trying to diminish anyone's annoyance, because you being annoyed with Scopely is 100% valid on this channel. You're allowed to be. We're not going to mute you or ban you because you said something about Scopely that Scopely didn't like. So you're all welcome among friends here. That said, if you're going to have these problems, I'd much rather them happen like now than when the new arc rolls out. That's just a me thing. Now, some people might not see there's being any difference. Like, this is just a regular week to some of y'all, and whether there's an arc up or not doesn't really matter. And that's also completely fair. Just kind of depends on how you tend to view things. For me personally, I think that the arc weeks are more important weeks than the regular weeks, which is what we're in now, the bye week. So I tend to view it with a little bit harsher of a view, but that's just me. I mean, I need this week to work. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go put that in, hit confirm, then we're gonna send this out and jump into some of those armadas that those are running, because those are very, very valuable. Viper says arc launch day is usually a cluster. Yes, yes. It depends, right? We've had a lot of really good arc launches, then we've had some really, really bad ones. You heard next month's arc is a Bugs Life crossover? That's a good pun. I've already dropped a hint. For those who missed it, I dropped a hint to the next arc. And I said, what do Cobra Kai and Star Trek have in common? But that will become more apparent as things get closer. There's actually a couple things that applies to. But yeah. Do we know what the next arc is? I do, yeah. But granted, I always do. I mean, it's kind of like I need to do. As far as hints, though, I'm going to be dropping hints because y'all been asking me for hints. And to be honest, now that I no longer have an NDA, I don't have to worry about Scopely getting pissed at my hints. What are they going to tell me? Don't say it. I don't work for you. And everything I've learned has come after the NDA. So, oh, my bad. Oh, well. Don't have to worry about it. I can drop whatever hints I want instead of have to have hints get approved. So, yay. Yeah. How many secret sources do you have in Scopely? All of them. Look, it's not about secret sources. To be very clear, I am appreciative of anybody who talks to me. But I'm just saying, now I can drop hints and not really worry about it because they wanted hints to be approved. And now I can just be like, oh, well, I'm going to just drop a hint because people enjoy hints for some reason. Yeah, Cobra Kai never die. Shout out to Cobra Kai. If you haven't watched it on Netflix. Anyway, back into directed topicing. They have not yet made an announcement regarding the issues, but I can tell you that they are aware. I know that isn't really helping anything. I do want y'all to know, though, that they are aware of the issues in Alliance tournaments, and it is being worked on. They did post in the known issues for retrieving. In fact, the mod team did. Shout out to the mod team over on the official Discord. But other than that, they've not made a post. Scopely themselves have not made a post yet on that one. So again, as you're going through and doing your survey, if you haven't already, we've had about 1,000 people respond in the past 40 hours. Shout out to those who have participated in the survey. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps get your voice out there. And I have been using, I will tell you this, I thought this was neat. I've been using Gemini, the AI from Google, to help go through the comment section. Not that I don't appreciate Archduke and them, I just think that that's neat. So how about I read some of those out to you? So here's what AI had to say based on your comments in regards to communication. I feel like this is a pretty apt thing to talk about given the current situations. Here's what AI has said based on what y'all said. This is their summary. Timeliness and sufficiency. Communication was often late, inconsistent, or insufficient, especially regarding technical issues, event schedules, and critical game information. Many users relied on outside sources like content creators or Discord for essential details. In-game versus external platforms. There's a strong desire for more communication to be integrated directly into the game rather than relying on external platforms like Discord, which many players do not use or have access to. Event communication. Notice for events, particularly Alliance tournaments and cons challenges, were frequently given too late, making it difficult for players to plan or participate. There's also frustration over unannounced or sudden events. Feedback and acknowledgement. Players felt their feedback regarding grind and event difficulty was often ignored or not acknowledged by developers and community managers. And customer support. The automated support system was widely criticized as ineffective and a barrier to resolving issues. This is what AI has deduced after going through the 1,000+ respondents on my survey. That's what AI has said about what y'all said about communication. I feel like the AI gets it. And man, if today's AI can get it, you can get it. Like, anyway, this is all the stuff that I will be sending to them, of course. It's not all negative. Now, this might shock you, but a lot of the responses to this past month have been positive. And it's why I really try to, make sure people are aware that your opinion matters, but keep in mind that other people might have different opinions. For example, the events, probably the most negative area, but even with the events being the most negative, it's still got a lot of positive with 26% of people giving it a B or an A grade, right? So this is why I really encourage people to do the surveys and share them out to get both the positive and the negative opinions of people so we can break those down. What was good? What was bad? The Chaos Tech that just came out this past month got a very middling grade. However, the quality of life changes, 52% of y'all gave it an A so far. The Augment Faction update, massively positive. Even the new Augment Exiles have been getting mostly positive grades. So it just kind of depends on what it is. The events definitely are skewing to the negative, as is the communication aspect. And again, not saying that that is the end all be all. I'm just simply saying, as we get more and more people who do these surveys, we're able to then get more of a well-rounded opinion, but more importantly, to find what is actually good and what's actually bad. Because what tends to happen is, even when people are positive about something, there's something that they'll say, this is bad. Or even when somebody's negative, they'll say, this is negative, right? So usually you'll find those common grounds, even though the overall scores will just always kind of blend into one little pot. So Hellcat says, can I fill out the survey just based on your videos? You could if you didn't play it all the past couple months, but yeah. Phoenix says, I got a pick. Your rewards pack. Should I get DTI artifact schematics or quantum communicators? That's a good question. Personally, I would go artifact schematics because I feel like that takes more time for everybody to level up. The DTI levels up relatively quickly in terms of comparison to some of these other buildings. So I would go with the one that takes the longest, and I would say the artifacts. And I just today, this morning, got my artifact gallery up to 60. Just happened this morning. So that was heckin' nice. That's actually one of the prerequisites I have in my G6 checklist, is I would think it's good for everybody to get theirs to 60 because of what it opens you up to in terms of the artifacts. So one of my recommends. Don't have to do it for certain, but certainly would recommend. Yeah. Event store's really good, says Nick. I have 35,000. I'm not sure what to use it on yet. Got everything I planned for and then some. Happy to hear it, Nick. So there was definitely some good, definitely some bad, and finding the truth in the middle. Oh, it's invalid. That's great. Yeah, yay. Lag. Lag is the bane of our existence. I have to wait for another one to spawn and try to launch it. I have to wait for it to respawn. So Dutch says too many events with too much grind. I want to point something out real quick, and I'm not ignoring what you say, Dutch, but I do want to point this out. Remember, If you think that an event is too difficult, one of the main metrics that Scopely tracks is event participation. Now, I'm definitely not calling you out specifically for making this comment because I don't know what you did, but I want everybody to hear this. If you think that an event is terrible, do not do the event. Don't touch it. Because if you do it, then they're going to be like, okay, it's fine. And here's the kicker. A lot of events that many people come into my stream and complain about have high participation metrics and high completion rates. So I'm not calling out anybody individually, but I want to make it clear that your words have to also be backed up by your action. You can't say, hey, this event sucks, and then still go do it, right? Because then Scope is just going to continue because their analytics, which matters more to them than player sentiment. Chrono, correct me if I'm wrong. Chrono has talked to plenty of people at Scopely. Chrono's been around a long time. Tell me I'm wrong, Chrono. If the analytics says one thing and sentiment says another, what do they side with? Analytics. So bear that in mind. It's the same thing with special ships. We just saw the Reliant sell more Reliance than any other special ship that we have seen since STFC statistics started tracking that. And they did it doing the type of format that everybody complains about, which is dag nabbit. Dang, they got it before I did, lint lickers. But because players in the VIP had complained that they don't want to have to spend $3,000 to get their ship to where they need to be able to use it. And yet they went back to that old style where to buy the Reliant and max it cost 2,900 American dollars. And they sold it like hotcakes. So it's one of those that, again, I'm not trying to call it any individuals. Just remember that if you say you don't like this, you can't then go reward it with your time and your money. Because if you do, then they're just going to continue to do that thing. So 97 says action is when people quit. People do that until they burn out and quit within a year, and maybe napkins. But here's the drawback to that. We've still not seen a year in the past couple years where the game populations dropped. Has the game lost players? Absolutely. But in terms of overall game population, we're not seeing this. We've seen plateau, but they're keeping enough and making enough well. So my only thing is I don't want people to quit the game, but I do want people to remember to escape FOMO. And the reason I harp on this so much, let's go see if my events are actually retrieved now. Nope, they're not. The reason I harp on this so much is because that's the drive of what makes people so angry. It's these events are terrible, but I feel like I have to do them to keep up. And the dirty secret I really try to get across to everybody is you're never going to catch up. That's a myth. It's not even possible. So if an event is bad, literally don't touch it. And that way, if they have a completion metric of only 10%, they have to move on, right? Same thing with my spenders. I don't want them to quit the game. I've lost so many friends who were high-level spenders because they got frustrated. I don't want them to quit. But I do wish they would stop spending $3,000 on a Reliant and then say, Scopely, stop making me spend $3,000 on a Reliant. Like, I wish there was that middle ground we could all come together and force those changes. And sometimes it works. I hope nobody takes me talking right now saying Scopely doesn't listen. We've definitely got proof they listen. If they didn't listen, I wouldn't do the surveys. However, as I've said earlier, sentiment will not override analytics. I mean, it just is how it is. Firehouse Dad says, so is the low pop just on our server? We've been merged 2 times already since December launch. Firehouse, are you on 715? And if so, yeah, because we've got, for example, server 20, which is with this account on, has never been merged and has over 2,500 active players. So that isn't to say that there aren't low pop servers, because there are. Scopely just spends a lot of money on what's called new user acquisition. So, yeah. Frederick says, FOMO makes me want to do bad events, so hard to resist. Exactly. And see, that's why I scream so loudly about this, because, you know, the dirty truth of STFC is you never catch up. It's a myth. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, yeah, that's a pop-up I do want. You never actually catch up because the game has no end game and there's always something new getting released, right? They're always releasing something new. So you're never going to proverbially catch up anyway. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to just sit at level 39 forever, Sugar Fat Man. Congratulations on finally going into G4. But it is one where I don't want you to do events or force your ops because you feel like you have to. You should be enjoying this game because it is, keyword, a game. Now, if you're strong, absolutely, you should move up. Like Sugar Fat Man, he should have moved up a long time ago, in my opinion, but his game, he was having fun as being like a 45 million powered level 39. He was enjoying it. So who am I to say he was wrong? But could he have moved up? Absolutely. Long time ago. So EQ says, got a feeling 202 might just merge instead of ascending. Don't have an answer, although I do need to talk to them this week about mergers and ascensions again, specifically about ascensions. So if you believe your server needs ascension, please message me so that I can talk to the overlords about it. I know there are a few servers out there with that. If you believe your server needs ascension, as in you're stuck at 60 and you want to go to 70, etc., please shoot me a message so that I can then talk to them about it and make sure that that server is being at least considered. I can't say that I can pull the switch and make it happen, but there are many servers out there who know that I can at least have some sway in that. James says, what is ascension? So when servers start anew, like actually Firehouse Dad server, you start off locked. So a brand new server can't go past level 39, and then it gets to 50, and then they'll lock it at 60, and then finally 70, and going above those level locks is called ascension. So, and it's inconsistent. Sometimes a server can be ascended within the first 4 months. Sometimes a server will wait a year and not get ascended. Very bad to have that inconsistency, but is what it is. Now, John asks, why do they even lock servers from going higher? That's actually a really easy question to ask. Money. So the goal of the servers is you want servers to have a equal experience or traditional experience to older servers when it comes to progression, meaning that you want certain players to spend certain amounts at each range instead of just flying out. So let's just say you had a level 70 out there. His name was the HRM Moose, right? Because Moose loves to spend millions of dollars on STFC. I said it on stream, so it has to be true. But let's use Moose as an example. Let's say Moose wanted to start over. Well, Moose knows what he's doing, right? So Moose could start over on an older server or a new account, and if he had the ability to spend and not have any locks and not have any walls, he could do it pretty cheaply. But the idea is you want to force certain things to happen. You want to slow some things down, make some spending horizontal, and then you also have the aspect of they don't want the spinners to rush up so fast that the rest of the game doesn't keep up with them, meaning their prized, demographic then has no targets, then has nobody to play with, and then they're just sitting there bored by themselves because they went to level 70 and everybody's at level 25. So there's several aspects of that. I'm giving you obviously the more negative aspects from a player perspective, right? The money aspect is always going to be seen as negative when you're talking about a free-to-play game, but that's a lot of the reasoning. In fact, on the recent podcast, there's a plug to Rev Deuce's website. If you remember, on the recent podcast, we actually talked about how Scopely back in 2017 was using AI to help create their structure for what they were looking like in games, specifically to create whales. So this is a process. This is a thing that they have been working on for almost a decade, including using AI to perfect the method. And we can all talk about maybe our dislike for Scopely, but to say that Scopely isn't successful is just silly because, they've got a game right now, Monopoly Go, that's over $5 billion in gross revenue within the first 2 years, right? Star Trek Fleet Command had like a $400 million rolling revenue in its first year. They were purchased as a company by a PIF for almost $4 billion. Scopely is successful, and understanding why and how I think is important. But some people might just see that as getting into the weeds, which is fine. Let's see if Holland's just going to jump in here. Then we'll speed this up. So, Joanne says, being a G5 player, I haven't been doing the Stellar/Eclipse events as I don't see any decent rewards. Am I wrong to not participate? Here's what I would say. If you ever need more badges, like to upgrade officers, then you need to be doing that event on Thursday. That is the biggest value to G5 and above players, making sure you have enough badges. If that doesn't have any real value to you, you finish the Stella loop, ignore it. But if you need badges, there you go. Do you have a trailer for the podcast? I actually do not. Now, I've thought about releasing one of the episodes just kind of out there and letting people listen to it, but no, I don't. Maybe I'll do that with this most recent episode. I don't know. But We also have it as a perk for those who support the channel. And I won't hide that. I mean, I am a content creator, and that's one of the perks for people who are here with us. So, afternoon, Ken Slayer, good to see you. And Q, thank you so much for the $3 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. In the chat, I also want y'all to see a link I'm posting that is to the survey. Make sure you get it in because I want to be able to send that information to the overlords. All right, we're gonna go ahead and speed. Hopefully we can get another one launching. Does anyone if March of Progress resets when I hit Ops 51 for G5, or will I have to wait until next month? You'd have to wait until next month, Kyle. Have to wait until next month. Fuelden says Scopely is working on either a Cyberpunk game or a Witcher game. I will tell you that they are working on a AAA title right now. Scopely as a company is working on a AAA title. Keep in mind that is not Digit, as in the game design team that works on STFC. So Scopely as an entity owns a lot of developing companies, or development companies, or game design studios, better put. So they do that. Sorry if I feel like we got in the weeds a little bit. I know it's a bit off subject, but just getting your opinion on the Switch 2 situation. How do you feel about the cartridges being used as keys and breaking of consoles? Baba Yaga, I got no idea what you're talking about. No clue. Hey, Fuelden, would you mind sending me that information? Because I'd like to piece those puzzles together a little bit better. Because they actually, I know for sure Scopely is currently developing 3 different games, but I've been trying to tie down who exactly is doing each one. So, but I know for sure there's 3 in development, including possibly a Star Wars game. So, we'll see. We'll see. This is just Rev basically being TMZ right now, dropping theory crafting. But you hear a lot of rumors when you work in the business and you talk to people. So, Tony says it's never free to play. That's just false. You pay for it in longer playtime. Well, Tony, let's just be honest. That's still free to play. Free to play is not false. Free to play is, can you play the game without spending money? Yes. I don't think there's any, illusion by anybody that you can do it in the same amount of time as a spending, but it's still not spending, right? There's a big difference between time and money. I know people say time is money, but it's not, because you can spend a lot of time and not make any money. That's not how it works. So. You'd love to see a mobile game based on the Apple TV series Foundation. We're getting really into the weeds. Let's flip it back into topics, everybody. Let's keep on topic. I don't want us to get too distracted. But, yeah, that's where we're currently at in terms of the game. And I'm still waiting for an announcement to drop on the issue here with the retrieving. Sadly, it's not. Now, I did have a better result on my low-level account. Let me double-check and see if that is better. Because I'm rebooting that game, and let's see if that has helped it. Good evening, Erwin. Good to see you. Good to see you. You want a Battlestar? I also would like a Battlestar. What's the latest numbers on arena participation? Last couple weeks have felt empty. It's because they have been, Steven. And if there is one event that I am very strong in believing has struggled the most because of the increased instability and lag issues, it's PvP arenas. How much so? I'm glad you asked. I'm here to answer. Here's how much it's dropped off. PvP arena participation was the lowest ever this past week. Ever recorded. Was 6,100 people ish. That's the lowest ever recorded. It's pretty bad. Now, in the grand scheme, like where was it at before? I mean, it never was like ridiculously high. Keep in mind that we're talking about that short 8-hour window. They won't get their foot off of. They won't leave the stupid 8-hour window on a Monday. So there's limited participation for that reason alone. So there never was like 80,000 players were doing it on a Monday. But it's still a pretty stark drop down to 6,000. Now, can you still find matches? It really depends on your ops level. You know, if you're ops 70, you're really struggling to find matches. If you're ops 60, it's not hard to find matches, but maybe if you're not a stronger player, you're just going to find matches that you can't have success with. So there's definitely been a significant drop off. I think the biggest thing has to do with the instability, but also you have a lot of players like me. For example, this account, right? This account has got months worth of Terran Empire currency. There's really no reason for me to do arenas besides the fact that I enjoy doing arenas because I get to play with people. That's really the main reason I still do arenas, because when I do them, for those that don't know, We go on Twitch, we're live every Monday night, and I play with people from the chat, which I think is one of the coolest experiences that I've been able to do in STFC since the game came around. Like, from that aspect, that is so neat that I can play with you on stream. That's fun. But in terms of like the rewards, I've got the rewards for months. I don't need any more turn-in currency. And while the rewards are good, a lot of people are really going to debate the effort. Is it worth it? And I understand that debate. I mean, for example, the Vindicator's here, but just get the Vindicator in an event store, right? There's your free-to-play sourcing for all your fleet commanders. You have the innovative engineerings, and I do believe these are super valuable. That said, I've also been the content creator talking about all the ways you can get faction credits now out the wazoo. So yeah, this makes them cheaper, but do you really need it when the game is now giving G5 players over 100,000 Latinum a day and you're able to get 10, 15,000 faction credits a day? Do you really need it? Like, it's good. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying the game has been progressing economy-wise so much. Unless you're into PvP, there's less and less reason to even consider arenas. And for me, it comes down to getting to play with people. And because I can do that, I enjoy it. If I didn't stream, I wouldn't do arenas every week. And I'm just being honest. Like, I hope Scopely hears that. Like, you're probably the loudest voice in the content creator community right now in favor of PvP is saying he wouldn't do it if it wasn't a I'm a streamer thing. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm not even saying it's necessarily a bad mechanic, but between all the lag, instability, and then the rewards getting less valuable as time has gone on. And look, y'all see, I still do it because I want these dusts, right? That is the, honestly, thinking about what I just said, because I've been saving for the innovative engineering for G6. Honestly, gosh, am I really going to change my mind on this? I'm only 7,000 rares away. But honestly, yeah, the research is more valuable. I get so many faction credits a day. I don't need that. Yeah, I just made a change there based on that. So, yeah, we're just going to completely dump that whole rares thing I was saving up on and just keep going. So if you do want to play arenas, if you are out there saying, hey, Rev, I would enjoy arenas, you can come play with us. That said, man, it's been rough. It's been rough. I really do enjoy playing with the community, though. That's the big value for me. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that applies to every person and player. So, Ken Slayer says, question on Ops up at level 63 now. Congrats. Negvar tier 9, cubes upgraded, all 60 epics max, almost all buildings 63. Still working on station G5 research. Pull the trigger. I mean, I would say that you've got all the ships where they need to be. Keep in mind that you're talking to a player who prefers to be very strong for their level. I don't know much about your account, Ken Slayer, besides what you just said. I know we've talked before in the past. Where are you ranking amongst all 63s? You know, for me, I'd like to be in the top 100. But you've already got the ships where you need them. Like, in terms of requirements, I would say you want to have before going to 63, you've already got all that, right? I would also say I would love for your ISO damage to be at least 300%. I would also say I hope you've already got 1 or 2 Selkies. And if you have those things, yeah, move to 66. Because it's not like the 63 uncommons in this state of the game are worth maxing out. So, TF says the other piece to arenas is win 19 matches but lose your 20th and you go down in ranking, which de-incentivizes people to participate once you build up credits. That has happened to me as well. I mean, I typically don't mind because I know I'm going to come back and do arenas. But, yo, like I said, here I am. Here I am. Right now, the best I've ever shown on this was second. And of course, it changes based on who's sitting at 65K. But yeah, Kinslayer equals number 433. So then what I would say, Chrono, based on how I play, I would get stronger at 63. Be very specific. I'm saying how Rev plays. Are you strong enough to go to 66? Absolutely. You're strong enough to go to 66. Depends on what you're doing. Are you having fun right now? Do you like it? I will also add one more thing, Kinslayer. If you do PvP arenas, it's going to get way harder going to 66. Your matches are way more difficult because you're far more likely to pull 70s. Your wait times are going to be worse because you're not going to be able to play with 60s anymore. keep that in mind. If you're into arenas, going to 66 is a real rough one. So, yeah, real rough one. Meme, good to see you, by the way. Says, how bad are you hurting for cosmic particles? You'll lose those in the pinnacle of power once you go 66. That is a good call out. I was thinking more about the hazard jumps and the hostile jumps, but yeah, that's a good call out. Your cosmic particle drip, if you go too far into G6, you're going to lose that. So good call out, meme, for that. Real good call out on that one, meme. I think we have that in our ops progression spreadsheet. Let me check that. I think we have that listed in the ops progression spreadsheet. If not, I will need to make a note. But let me go pull up the ops progression spreadsheet and see. We'll pull it up here on the screen with y'all so y'all can journey with me. Let's pull up to the master chart. Let's see. Those are the ship unlocks. I'll collapse that menu for now. Warp range, dailies, events. Do we have that listed? I do not see it. It might be on another one of our events spreadsheets. But that is absolutely worth mentioning. Let me come down here. So if we move over to the G6 area, there's all of that. Let's see if we have it in any of these notes. I don't have it in my notes. Does Jules have it in his notes? Jules does not have it in his notes. Do we have it in Lube's notes? Lube does not have it in his notes. Lube does not have it in his notes. All right. So, worth putting into the notes. Let's drag this in here. Also, I've got goes here, but man, this is so different than what it used to be. Remember, we'll lose access to certain G5 features such as cosmic particles. Get that done prior. Now, personally, this one is a sit for me, but I would also say 65's a go. 61's pretty much a go as well. It used to be what I said. I'd wanted people to get to 61, build their generators, but now the economy is drastically improved. So I would say that, and probably same here. But anyway, I'll work on that on another day, not here on stream. Really sit down and run the numbers. Ken Slayer says, I won't build a G6 rare, so parts are a meh for me. See, I would really... I mean, you... Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Rare battleship. My bad. Because you are going to build the Velox. Got it. You want to save all those for the Rotaran. I'm sorry, for the Crenshaw, the strongest ship in that area. You want to save all those interceptor parts for the Crenshaw. I see what you're doing. You're smart. You're smart. Alice says, I have no regards or news for Ascension. If you believe your server needs Ascension, please shoot me a message on Discord or Facebook so that I can talk to the overlords about it. All right. If you believe your server needs Ascension and isn't getting it, please shoot me a message so that I can then talk to them about it. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. I will not remember if you mentioned it to me on stream. We are blessed right now. We've got 460 people watching right now. Hopefully 460 people who are also doing the survey, etc. But because of that, because there's so many amazing people I'm going to talk to today, I'm not going to remember most of the individual conversations. If you believe your server needs Ascension, shoot me a message and I will check it out. And I'll try to talk to them about it, see what they say. If they believe it needs to happen, if they believe there's a reason it shouldn't happen, just reach out to me and we'll look into that. I promise I will. Just got to remind me because, again, I'm not trying to like cop out. It's just please understand anything said in stream, I'm probably not going to remember specific conversations. Hey, Adlocks. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. And yeah, like Kid Slayer said, hit that thumbs up button. Is it worth getting all 3 G5 uncommon ships? There is no like in-game practical reason to get it. If you want to get all 3 of them because they're cool and you like them, that's fine. There's not a need for it. I swear I just got a pop-up that an Armada started, but I don't see it. I can't tell if that bugged out or what. Is it? Yeah, it looked like it's here. I think my chat's broken. Yeah, I think my chat's broken. Yay! Yay, Scopely! Woohoo! My chat's broken. Yay! All right, well, we'll reboot that. We'll reboot that. When you say what the ISO damage percent should be on your ship, is that with ISO officers or base? That's just the base ISO. Yay, bugs. Let's reboot. Reboot. Yay, bugs. Man, it's been a bad day today for bugs. Yeah, I didn't win. I could have done that, but we also just go ahead and reboot it. But yeah, Dome, when I'm saying, hey, you're level 60, you should be at least 200% ISO, I'm talking about base ISO. That isn't including your star path research. It's not including your officers. That's not including activatable artifacts. It's literally just base ISO. So, yeah. All right, let's see if it shows up now. Ah, there it is. Weird. It listed as a common. Has anybody ever run a common armada before? That doesn't even exist. That's not even a thing, Scopely. What? Oh my gosh. Man. Gameplay. How do you increase base ISO? Mostly research, so there are also artifacts that do it. So for example, my Rotaran right now is sitting at 226%. Now the easiest thing that you can start working on aren't the Rev Solo commons. They might technically be a common, but come on. We're really splitting hairs there, Jerry. I'd have to go look. Because the Borg polygons are uncommons. So it might be a common. Come on. Come on. How do you see your base ISO? Go to your ship, check in your attack, ISO damage bonus, ISO defense bonus. Now, bear in mind, there are ways to increase it. There are a lot of artifacts that will jump it up. There's a lot of researches. One research that you start getting access to in G5 is going to be down here at the end. These right here. Isolic damage for specific faction ships, maxing out at 30%. You also have your DTI building. You also have your war room building. Those increase your ISO base numbers, so things that actually show up on your info screen. The Glavin artifact also does the same thing. So those will all give you a direct boost to your ISO. Got to have your actually moment. I know, Jerry. I know. Still love you though, buddy. So again, and I think 200% is a minimum of what I would recommend going into G6. In fact, on my G6 checklist that I'm working on, yes, there's a G6 checklist video coming out for those who are considering going into that area of the game. I actually have it as lower than 200% because I feel like too many people would get angry with me for saying 200. So I've got it listed at 150. But anyway, we're working on this. We'll get this completed and posted out to everybody in a video here in the future. Are they fixing the ATs? Yes, Apex Predator. Yes. Now, James mentions the Star Path research. While 100% recommended to do your ISO Star Path research, those don't show up in your base. Star Path research is an activatable ISO. So you need burning to be able to see that actual increase of 16%. You need morale to see it. You need isolytic damage boosting for the hull breach to actually have hull breach to see it. So is what a Wrath of Khan Joaquim's ISO defense relative in PvP? You can argue that Wrath of Khan Joachim is the strongest ISO officer in the game in terms of below deck defense. I don't actually think that's arguable. I think he is. And you can max him out 100% free to play by doing your cons challenges in your augment runs. He is 100% free to playable. You just got to go and do your cons challenges at 60 million rep. I'm about halfway there. Charles, thank you so much for the love and support, man. I appreciate the super chat. Also, want to say thank you because I see on my phone that you donated on PayPal. Thank you so much for supporting me and my family. I could not do what I do without people like you. Thank you. Rex says I'm only at 150% as a 61. Clearly, I'm missing a lot somewhere. You are, but the good news is you can always catch up. No big deal. All right, we can always come back because I won't fault players for maybe missing something because we all know that Scopely makes this game very expansive. Things are all over the place, and it can be tough to keep up with what you need. I do this game full time, and it's tough. So, yeah, very tough. Mr. Knuckle says maxed out Wrath of Khan Joachim a couple hours after reaching Superior, really fast and easy. The big key is you need those trophies. So, if you have Reliant, make sure your Reliant is out there grinding all the time to get those trophies. If you don't have Reliant, make sure you're out there grinding to get those trophies. So make sure you're out there doing that. Funky says, I can beat the level 4 cons challenger barely and find the level 3 challenger is more efficient because the payout is almost as good as level 4 challenger. So we have all the payouts listed on the spreadsheet. If you haven't checked it out already, here, let me pull that up real quick, like in a hurry, so y'all can all see it for yourselves. And if you aren't doing these, this is, again, one of the best things about the new update was this added feature of the repeatable missions and the epic run. So let's go ahead and put this on the screen. Making sure this is including everything. All right, so here's your repeatable mission, and you can see what they were talking about. Here's your cost. So it costs you 8,000 to do a captain, 9,000 to do a warlord, and here is going to be your payouts. 3,000 versus 4,000. And then you have over here maximum number of missions it would take. So if you were only doing the Cons Champion 1, which I don't know why you would, because if you have done this, even a G4 player should be able to easily do the ensigns easily. It would take you 292 missions to max out Joaquin and cost you 1.8 million trophies. Simply just doing the ensign cuts that down significantly and 500,000 trophies. Doing the captain means you only need 49 missions, 392,000 trophies. So as you can see, very doable. Very doable. Just one of those you need to run. Can 5-star survey ships reach 6-star nodes? Oh, but Tanae, you need a 6-star ship to go and mine those beautiful things. But you can reach it, yeah. But you really, really want that Selkie. You really want that Selkie. Really want that Selkie. Really want that Selkie. So, the cons repeatable missions require you to be 60 million reputation before you can start them. Very, very, very important. Now, I did a video on these for those, the hostile type, because remember, it is a more of a gold hostile, or it is a gold hostile versus being a regular hostile. So you need to use those specific crew types, but very lucrative run. This is how people got Wrath of Khan got Khan free to play as a fleet commander, how they got Joaquin maxed out as a fleet commander. And you can see that over here where we have this chart as well. So super valuable stuff. I will have a video going over tips for the missions themselves later, but I did a video talking about taking down the hostiles a couple weeks ago. So there we go. Now we know. Oh, I went boom. Oh no. Oh no, we lost? What are we running with, 2 people? Yeah, it's really tough to carry when we're just running that. But hey, there we go. Wasn't my currency. Yikes though. That's gonna be an easy one for somebody else to go grab. But like David, I would say Selkie really is your only real choice. And the good news is the Selkie is just like the Nova, where you can use all 3 factions to get Selkie stuff. In fact, I can already do it because you only need 1.1 billion reputation. And in terms of cost, like, we can always debate the value, but as I was just saying, you can get faction credits relatively easily now. And in terms of like all that you would need, so you need 1.5 million for a Selkie, assuming you've not done the innovative engineering. But between your 3 factions and being able to split and defer that cost, like my Romulan faction has got 1.4 million sitting on it right now. And I have it at Daradex. So, I mean, my Romulan faction can almost pay for it by itself. So, definitely get the Selkie. With the Latinum payouts you get now and the faction credits, it should be much easier to obtain than the original adopters had when they were going through it. Shouldn't be too hard. Did you run Assimilate? I don't think anybody in that one, Funky, ran Assimilate. I think they were just expecting people to brute force it. But I did not bring Assimilate, no. Usually we'll just have so many G6 players in that it just brute forces and it doesn't matter. But, yeah. Got 2 Selkies paid for, going for 3. Very nice, Jeremiah. Our recommended ISO and ISO defense on the OS progression chart. They are not. They're going to be on my G6 checklist. And again, this is something that I can throw into the progression chart, Scorpio. I might add at the bottom a checklist, or maybe I'll just include it in my recommendations on the master slide. But no, now I do have that in my checklist stuff. So where can I find info about which crew are good for PvP as a PvE player? Find it very difficult to PvP solely as lacking off info about it. Me, my channel. I actually put out a video about the premier PvP crews in the game today, and it's still relevant. And that one came out, I don't know, like 5 months ago. But I'll show you what the video is. So I'm not just saying, hey, go look at Rev Deuce's video. 1 second. Officers, Rev Deuce. That's me. All right, so I did the Icheb and Tuvok one. That's really good. Yeah, I would say these top 2 videos. So this one, talking about IST, Mirror, BST, Carol. It's from 8 months ago, but still relative in terms of crews themselves. And then I have Icheb and Tuvok, which are arguably 2 of the best below deck officers in the game today, especially, well, for PvP, with Gwen DeMarco being 3rd, 2nd. Very good. But, I mean, these main 2 are huge for the average. And keep in mind that all the crews I'm covering in these 2 videos are free to play. Icheb and Tuvok are free to play, right? IST, Interceptor Strike Team, is free to play. You know, so check out those 2. If you have further questions, I'm also available for questions because I love it and I really appreciate this community. But yeah, happy to answer. Steven says he got 3 Selkies, faction mining, laser on each of them. Now, who here has the new Grange and stuff, or who has the 68s and have the gold skin on them and turning them into massive amalgams? Who's done all that? The best crew is Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Good to know. Good to know. Also would point out, Scratch, that my Discord has a ton of helpful people in there, and we also have channels devoted directly to helping with crewing on these issues. So you have gold skin on all 3. I knew you would. You will. Yeah, Epic grabbed it. Ain't even mad at him. Ain't even mad at him. It's what you should do. You see an easy thing laying around there, go get it. Go get it. Go grab it. All right, let's grab this. Good and good. All right, we got all those goodies. Let me go see if I can do an Armada pull. That's what I need to check. Nope. 900K short. Well, I'm going to send my stuff back. I'm going to launch the uncommon. I did not bring Dazok, but hopefully we can do the uncommon fine. Need to do a video on how to max older rare officers such as Bael and Bev Crusher. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not. It's not really an easy system I can even give you for that. How do we get the Epic Mirror Dust for the Omega Critical Damage Floor Research? Epic Mirror Dust is going to come by doing your refines. Specifically your NSCA refines. Make sure we're talking about the same things. You're talking about this dust back here, right? Let's see, because you were talking, which prime were you talking about? Not prime, sorry. Which research were you talking about? Beverly Crusher is a lot easier with the TNG efficiency research. True. True. But right now, going by chat, I'm talking about something. This is what I get for trying to talk about multiple topics at one time. While true, right now, I would not recommend you go after the officer acquisition stuff. Not that it's bad. I just think there's way more important things first. For example, order of priority. Number 1 priority, getting rares. Number 2 priority, getting Khan's favor, but you will need to get the Khan's quest unlocked, which requires you to do the missions. If you are not at 60 million reputation doing that yet, then yes, you can start working on other things. I would also recommend the officer stat bonuses first. And personally, I needed more ship XP, or wanted more ship XP and officer XP missions, so I went after those first. But this will make it easier. 100% factual statement. 100% factual statement. I just would recommend make sure you're getting the things that pay out the currencies the most. So the rare missions pay out the currency the most, and the Khan's favor pays out currency, right? So you want to make sure you're getting that as well. So if you're talking about the premium dust, not the epic dust. The premium dust is what I was pulling earlier in the Terran Empire faction. So you can pull the premium dust here, and there's 2 events a month that pay out premium dust. One is the Syndicate event, and if you've maxed out your Syndicate event, that turns into a Armada event. And then the other one is... what is the other one? There's 2 events. Meme, you still here? Help me out. Pseudo, you here? Help me out. 2 events. One is the Syndicate event. Is it Zen Deep today? Yes, the Zen Deep one. Duh, the one I'm freaking doing right now. Zen Deep. That one. Dang it, I missed another one. Here, let me show y'all one. So you have the Syndicate event, which is going to pay it out. Then you have Zen Deep, which is part of Final Weapon Wednesday. Pays out premium dust. So Zen Deep every week, and then once a month we usually get that Syndicate event, plus your Terran Empire pulls. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Dinwood. I feel like we were talking about many different things. So, yeah. But, and this is one of the most important currencies to get. So, absolutely need to shout it out and mention it. Get it, get it, get it. This is an event that I would say is so important you shouldn't do. No. All right, what's that? Just seeing comments in my Discord. All right. Sounds like they were talking about the... oh, already read that. My bad. Nomad, good to see you. Time Lord, good to see you. Captain, welcome in. Good to see you. All right, let's see. What else we got? I think my daughter left her game up. I'm hearing sounds in my office. Zeus, welcome in. Where to source rare ship parts from the Revenant refinery. Now remember, the Revenant, to get the rares, you've got to be in G5. Joanne, I want to say a big thank you real quick. Joanne just donated $5 to support the family. Thank you very much. You're helping pay off our medical bills and our credit card bills. I'm going to go put this in the chart real quick. Thank you. Also got to shout out Chris. Thank you. Not going to dox you with your full name, but big thank you. Chris just signed up to support us on our website, revenues.com. You just got access to the podcast, my friend. Thank you for supporting us. You're amazing. Let me know what you think about the podcast. Let me know what you think about all the other goodies that we have going on. But a big thank you to you two for supporting me and the family financially, because obviously it's never required, but it is very, very much appreciated. Away team events already talked about earlier. I mean, we have talked about it. What specifically would you like to talk about, Erwin? Stops making noises in Rev's office. Thank you, Moose. I knew I recognized that sound. I knew I recognized it. But yeah, Dave, if you weren't aware, so yes, you can scrap the Revenant in G4, which allows you to then have G5 parts coming in for those 10 days. Right, you can get the G5 materials. But to then get the rares needed to continue to go to tier 10, you've got to do a level up process. So it's ops locked. The priority 1 away team events every day? Yeah. I said, people, if you can't do them, ignore them. If you can't do them, ignore them. Best advice I can give. If you can't do them, ignore them. Hey, DeCourcy, good to see you. How's the fam? The fam is doing better, thankfully, not great. My son is on an antibiotic and a steroid. We're still having to give him breathing treatments. And the doctors have not given us a reason of why this is happening, but we are treating the symptoms. So it's very frustrating. He has another doctor's appointment next week, and we're just monitoring very, very closely. But I do appreciate you asking. Thank you very much. Moopsy, great to see you. Begins clumping around Rev's room instead. Thank you, Moopsy. Y'all are so kind. Really do appreciate you. Hello from Canada. No hockey players here. You're right. All the hockey players are in Florida, winning cups. Pushed the cube to tier 14 last night. Did all components but warp, powered up by a multiplier of 3. There's a huge jump once you start getting those Sigma level upgrades on the cube. The power just starts ballooning. Absolutely ballooning. Go Lightning. Go Red Wings. I'm going to get my Red Wings back into the success land. They've not been in success land for a while. I love the captain as a player. Don't know if I trust him as a GM. Anyway, back to the game. I'm waiting for an uncommon to try to spawn. because I can't do my events right now because they're retrieving, which is so ironic because they never retrieve. It's the game that never retrieves. This is the game that doesn't retrieve. Yep. So, hey, that's the Syndicate one. I recognize it by the 225. That's the Syndicate one. That's not the Proto Matter one. That's the, is that the Rod one? The Proto Matter one is 55,000. Responding to a message real quick. That's Roz. The other one's 631 Cypher. Thank you, Enderhall. Yeah. See, I have memorized the 55,000, which is the Proto Matter one, because I'll do that one free to play. I'll do that one free to play. Oh, it did launch and I missed it. Son of a biscuit. Any ETA on the field training fix? Nope. Probably never, being honest with you, because I don't even think that's on the priority radar. You can put in a ticket and wait. I mean, I've still got a field training issue on an account that's 9 months old. And look, I'm not trying to be negative, by the way. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Not priority. If it gets fixed, I'll be happy about it. And I'm definitely not saying don't report it. I'm just saying, yeah. Mantis comp win is what Rev is saying. When are we getting our Mantis comp? So, when are we getting our Mantis comp? Yeah. So far, you've done the 15,000 temporal disruptors. Nice. Yeah, Mantis Viper. You remember that? You remember us needing a Mantis comp? I hate just staring in the system waiting for the refresh. I don't understand why they don't have these immediately respawn. Like, is it really that important to make me wait on this? Yeah. Opened old wounds. It's good to know you can still be hurt, Viper. It means you're still alive. And I love you. I maxed out my Franklin A. Got my archives at 60 and got all the Franklin A unlocked in the archives, but the last one won't let me do it. Ticket. That's happened to, not exaggerating, hundreds of players in the past month. Thankfully, mine let me do it. But it happened to a lot of folks. You just got to put in a ticket and they can manually do it for you. So, can't see the task and I've uninstalled the game and cleared localization. Don't worry, Kevin. You're not alone. It's all of us. We're all waiting on a fix for Alliance tournaments. They borked Alliance tournaments. So, at least they're not running incursions. So, at least they're not running incursions. How you doing? Tournaments is broken? Yep, it is, Scratch. It is indeed. We're all there. We're all sitting here in the Yay Bugs corner, just super excited. But hey, I'm just going to do what I always do. When you can't do what the game tells you to do, go do something else. Go do something else, because there's plenty of things to do. Mother trucker. How? Mother. You got the Herogen task load? I'm very happy. My mobile provider has issues as well, unable to make or receive calls all day. I think it's a global conspiracy to ruin Alliance tournaments and your mobile phone provider. Tough Cow, where you been? I haven't seen you in a coon's age. That was at the first part of the show. That was at the first part of the show. Good to see you, though. Taking away people's purchases, buggy AT, player sentiment must be through the roof. Honestly, it's probably where it always is, to be real with you. You know, it's just going to be another one of those bad weeks, and then next week there'll be people praising things. It just is what it is. So, you're grinding Mirror Universe with your new NSC8. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Something that I made a video about last week. So, all right, let's see. We got another one yet? Nope. Waiting on a oh, there we go. Come on. All right. Rev got that one. Nice. Nice. Now, Dazok I have... Where do I even have Dazok? I don't even know. Do I have Dazok? Not here. Below deck ability, let's look for Dazok real quick. Do I even have him somewhere? Because maybe I want to throw him on the retard. Yeah, I don't have him being used anywhere. So that was still making that reference to 2025. Well, I try to connect to my older audience, such as yourself. Because not everybody is 74, but for those of you who are, I want to connect to you. So, rares never work without Dazok. Yeah, they do, Charles. You just need brute force and power. But yeah, if you can't overwhelm it, then you do need to bring Dazok. For those that didn't know, I should be able to see it if I look at the rare here. Nope, not that one. Yeah, this one. Definitely want to bring this. And you also typically want to bring burning as well for this. But yeah, right there, the super weapon. But a lot of folks will just brute force it if they're a high level. See, like if you're bringing a Velox or anything, you're going to knock it out beforehand. But if you don't have that, then you need to make sure you bring Dazok. So if you're out there, like we had somebody from server 715 earlier. Like if y'all are working your way up there and y'all don't have level 70s and stuff and 66s, then make sure you have Dazok and Neelix below decks just to make those rares easier to handle, because you don't want to just blow up and foobar them. And okay, cool, it is posting. Nice. Connect with those old people. Do you prefer wheels or tennis balls on your walker? I'll be honest, I think the tennis ball method is tried and true because it gives you a smooth enough surface to move while also providing you brakes if needed. I think it's the best of both worlds. Now, if you have wheels, then you got to go put the leaf springs on it. You got to go get your drum brakes, or else it's just going to take off. You know, maybe you've experienced it, maybe you haven't. I don't know. Maybe it's just my old folks. May have missed a video, but do you recommend getting Wrath of Khan Savik? I think all the Wrath of Khan officers are good. Would I purchase her? No. I would not go out of my way to pay for Wrath of Khan Savik. I'm not even saying she's bad. I would not go out of my way to pay for it. I don't feel like you're getting a significant value specifically to go and buy it. Again, not saying she's bad, but do you really need all that Cascade to really win? Will it help you? The short answer is yes. More Cascade is good, especially against Augment Exile Hostile. But would I go buy her? No. I would wait for her to come out. Does Giorgio work on the bridge? Yeah. Yeah. Does. Any burning that you could do. So Giorgio, Nero up top, Neelix below decks, etc. And yeah, Frederick, nothing but love to you as well, my friend. Absolutely. She gives you a second chapel to run on another ship. Yeah, that's definitely one way to throw it. And they will stack. So like Nurse Chapel's bonus would stack with Savik. Difference is Nurse Chapel is significantly better because you need a state. Well, not everybody uses that, right? Not everybody uses states. Now you should. I mean, I tell people have Balana Torres, etc. below decks all the time, but not everybody does. Right? Nurse Chapel's still better. Now, I'm trying to find Nurse Chapel real quick so I can put it on the screen. There we go. Numerically, Nurse Chapel's not better. She's 40% versus 70, assuming you max Savik. But again, if you're buying Savik, you're getting a tier 1 Savik anyway. Chapel's still better. All that said, it is nice to have. So... don't forget to like the video here, guys, and don't forget to subscribe. I agree, Killer Angel. Thank you. That's very kind of you to mention. Helps out the channel. Everybody can't afford to donate. Everybody may not be in a position to donate, or maybe you're rich as heck and you're just saying, hey, I'm not donating to some random ginger talking to me on YouTube. That's fine. You can still like the video, subscribe, and make comments on all the videos because that helps us grow. Greatly appreciate it. Wait 2 months to get Savik from an event store? Exactly. Like, if I was spending y'all's money, I would say your money is better spent in other areas. Again, that's just me. I just don't think it's worth it. Ken Slayers, how can you not use states? Primary below decks for you is Hugh, Neelix, Blonde Torres, Kim, Paris, Chapel, Vial. Easy answer, Ken Slayer. If you have a Reliant, which a lot of people who purchased a Reliant did not pay to tier it up, means you've got 1, 2, maybe 3 below deck spots. A lot of those people are just using things like Viel, Hugh, Chapel, and not using BLT, Neil, etc. Now, if you've got 9 below deck spots, of course you've got it. But anyway, just answering the question. Depends on how many below deck spots you have. How do I donate to the Random Ginger? Well, thank you for asking, Big Daddy Mendoza. It's never required, but I have a website you can sign up for on RevJuice.com. You get access to secret perks, or you can just do it directly with PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Never required, but always appreciate it. Your donations go to feed my 3 kids, pay off medical bills, and pay off credit card bills. You're amazing for even thinking about it. Even if you don't do it, thank you for asking. 2 pulls away from Columbia skin if tournaments were working. Well, look, they're going to get fixed, and hopefully we get a comp. If this lasts any longer, like if this goes into the evening, Rev's going to be screaming for a comp. So get ready, get your pitchforks and your torches out. If this doesn't get fixed within a couple hours and it has affected people for like 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to start screaming the word comp, and I hope you join me. Right? Everybody get your free away team, not free away teams, free alliance tournaments hashtags ready, but I'm not doing it quite yet. I'm giving Scopely time to fix it. But if they don't, free alliance tournament hashtags are going to be dropping. And Ender Hall, that's why I'm doing it, because I don't want players to miss events, right? Let's just say Alliance tournament runs for 5 days. That's 15 events you can do. I don't want people missing opportunities to get currencies, to get work done. I'm trying to give them the little bit of the benefit of the doubt. It's only been 2 hours, so I'm trying to not be too argumentative. I don't know. But if it goes just a little bit longer, we're bringing out the hashtags, we're bringing out the AI, we're making memes, and we're going to scream. But I agree. It's the EU players that I'm really thinking of here, because they're the ones who are going to go to bed in a couple hours, and that will mean they essentially miss the first day. And I don't think that's okay. I'm trying to not, like, as soon as a problem happens, jump down their throats. But I'm going to give it another hour or 2, and if that isn't the case, then we're going to start going crazy. We're going to start going crazy. You're going to see it. Yeah, so 3.5 hours. It's 1:22. So, yeah, 3 hours and 20 minutes. I don't want to round it all the way up to 4. But still, I'm right there with you. I'm just simply trying to give them a couple of hours to fix what should be an... We run this all the time, Scopely. What's the problem? But if it persists, we will be screaming. Don't worry. I will absolutely be right there with y'all, making sure that we get what we deserve. If you're going to run this spur of the moment Alliance tournament that we only knew about a week ago, and let's be honest, a lot of players are very upset that it's happening so close to the previous Alliance tournaments, we're going to get mad at them. So I'm just trying to give a little bit of leeway. That way I can say that, hey, I tried. I'll wager the problem is the same problem that led to incursions being canceled. I'd wager, Braindig, you're correct, but that doesn't change that we as players are facing a problem that they need to have fixed. It really doesn't matter what the reason is. And I really am not trying to sound like a butt. I'm really not. I'm simply pointing out that regardless of the reason, that doesn't matter when you're a player. It's not my job to give a hacking boohickey about what the problem is. It's my job to say, hey, here's a problem, and for you to fix it. Or preferably, the problem never to happen to begin with for something that you run all the time. Again, not trying to turn this into a negativity stream. Saying, it doesn't really matter what the reason is. As a player, it's not my job to care about it. I give you money, fix your game. Even if I'm free to play, I'll play your game, give me game. So, I'm going to give them another hour or so. If it's not fixed, we'll get out the pitchforks and torches. Also, I got to give a huge thank you. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm so sorry. I really apologize. If this was you, please chime in. We just had somebody support on the website signing up to be a lieutenant member. Thank you very much for that support. If that was you, Big Daddy Mendoza, thank you. I don't know who it was, and I don't want to butcher this name, but it's clearly not from where I am. It's outside my regional vernacular. But I do want to say thank you, and I see it. Thank you very much for signing up to be a lieutenant on my website to support me and my family monthly. Greatly appreciate you. You now have access to merch discounts, the podcast, other helpful little one-on-ones. Thank you very much. Derp says, to us, this is a game. They're supposed to be professionals, and this is supposed to be their professional working product. I agree. That's what it comes down to. Not trying to be mean, not trying to scream at them, but Alliance tournaments, something that we run all the freaking time, should work correctly. I'm going to refresh it. Let's see. Reboot. Sometimes you just take it, go clear localization, turn it off, back on again. Let's see if an update's been pushed. Nope, no update's been pushed. So, about the priority 1 away team event today, with the lack of speed ups, I can only speed 1 up. Can this be fixed? They've already made it very clear, Tough Cow, with these events, they're not giving anything for it. Consider them heroics. Now, I disagree with that. Hold on, to be very clear, I'm not taking their side. But what I talked about earlier, how do you speak? You speak with your money. You speak with your money, and you speak with your time. And if you do the event anyway, then Scope is going to be like, well, who cares? Don't do the event. Ignore it, move on, do something else. Ignore it, move on, do something else. So, if you don't think an event is good, make sure you ignore it. Gosh, things are all over the place right now. It's Challengers meta. Is that what is that bucket? Nope, not that bucket. I'm torn between unlocking DeMarco and Anorax. Both are valuable. Who would you suggest prioritize? In terms of just unlocking, go into DeMarco. Welcome in, Sean. So, Denwood says, by making it very clear about the priority 1 events, you mean they've said absolutely nothing? What I'm saying is, me, official moderators, and I'm sure other content creators, I don't want to put the name in the mouth, have brought it up to them directly for over a week. No change is coming. Sean, thank you. I appreciate you supporting the family very, very much. Thank you. Also, shout out to Wickeds. Wickeds just signed up to be a member on our website. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Y'all are freaking awesome. Thank you. Thank you very freaking much. It means a lot that you would support me and the family. And this is why I'm more than happy to go to war. Bring out the pitchforks and torches, because y'all support. Thank you. And the reboot fixed nothing. As I didn't think it would, but again, trying to give it just a smidgen of time for them to fix their stuff. Nick, welcome in. How are you doing? I'm helping out everybody that I can and having a good time. Now, I will say this. If y'all want to come hang out with Rev, the other game that I work for that is more stable, War Thunder just had a massive update. They added the USS Iowa. They added the Bismarck. They added the F2 jet from Japan. We're going to be playing that before we play STFC tonight. So, Thunder Buddies, Moose, talking to you. Come join us if you want to. But don't worry, we'll get our pitchforks and torches and hashtag Free Alliance tournaments if they do not rectify this within the next hour or so. Yeah. Heck, maybe I'll make a video just flaming them for how ridiculous all this has been this past week. I don't know. We'll see how bad it gets. But it's pretty rough right now. Lunch Bell says, one thing I forgot in your survey was a solo wave event that was impossible without the GS31. Free play don't have it yet. It wasn't labeled heroic and shouldn't have been. Is that addressed? I would argue it wasn't impossible without the GS31. I did it without the GS31. I didn't use the GS31 at all. So I'm not sure I agree with you on that one. Not sure I agree with you on that one. Is the USS Idaho in? No, but the Arizona is, the Texas is, the Arkansas is when we're talking about battleships. Come by tonight, Sean, and I'll show you what all's in. Viper, appreciate you. Viper, if you can, come play War Thunder with us, buddy. Viper's one of our sergeants in War Thunder. Appreciate you. Yeah, the Arkansas sprained it. Correct. Correct. Anybody got other questions? Other questions? Making the impossible possible? Look, I just want all of us to enjoy this game. And this community is amazing. We work together. We have fun together. Shout out to Dome. By the way, Dome just signed up to be an ensign on our website. Thank you very much. 3 of y'all jumping on the website. Make sure y'all hit me up. I got to give y'all some love. Thank you very much. Who's Kansas? Arkansas. Atlanta. Also, really curious, if you're on the website, please let me know what you think about the podcast. Myself and Alex, for those that don't know, the most recent episode on the podcast, we talked about how Scopely has been using AI since 2017 as they prepare to create whales in their games. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. And then we also talked about where gaming's at with AI right now as well and where it can be. I thought it was a good combo. My grandfather served on the Idaho for 3 years in World War II. That is really awesome, Sean, and I love learning that type of history. It's one of the reasons I love War Thunder, is getting to explore that type of stuff. So that's really neat. How did I get so smart and handsome? Jerry, it was genetics and McDonald's. Thank you. Taco Bell as well. Actually, none of those places, because they don't sponsor this channel. Don't eat at Taco Bell and don't eat at McDonald's until they sponsor Rev Deuce. Thank you. Haven't listened to the podcast. How is Ripper doing these days? Well, go listen to the podcast. But he's doing great. For those that don't know, Ripper, who created STFC.space, which we have a podcast episode about that, who also created the community mod. Shout out to the community mod. Shout out to Net and Quazel and Lightbull and all the others, and Mend helping run that. But he's doing well. He is a senior engineer for EA. So yeah, Electronic Arts. He works on the game engines that they use. And he no longer plays STFC, but he's still around. Still around. Still around. But yeah, we have a podcast now. We do an episode every week with topics that y'all ask for about gaming. Whether it's how gaming works, games that are coming out, Scopely stuff that they're doing. We talk about it all on the website. All right. Lag at the moment is unreal. It is very unreal. That reminds me. Let me see if this... we won. Yay. Oh, there's another one. Good. Let's see if I can make this pull real quick, because you want to get those indie pulls. Remember, I just put out a video about temporal artifacts, how valuable they are, acquiring them, maxing them out. And part of that is doing these armadas because the two Zindies pay out artifacts. So you want to get that. See, you got the watch, you've got the Shahila, the temporal observatory. Of course, all you got your goodies as well. But for me, I actually really do it because I want the artifacts and, of course, the Eye of Ra. Anything that I can get to turn into more of those temporal patterns and disruptors so that I can then max out my other things. Super, super valuable. And now that I just hit Artifact Gallery 60, should be able to move in a little bit further. But if we go in here, I should now have, yep, see, I've got some Eye of Ra. I've got 15 of them that I can now convert. Oh, my Atlantic. I'll have to type it in manually. And that's going to give me 900 more of those. And then as I get more and more of them, I can then finally max out the Glavin, which I have at 11 of 12. So here's my Glavin. I want to max it out, but I got to get more of the temporal remnants so I can get that last 10% ISO damage free to play. Thank you, Big Daddy Mendoza. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you very much. Did you sign up on the website? Because we had a couple people sign up, and I was trying to give everybody a thank you for that. Or did you send it directly? However way you did it, a big thank you. Oh, you did. You sent it on the website. Thank you very much, Big Daddy Mendoza. We'll add that to the screen. Thank you. Hope you are having a great day. Appreciate the love and support. You're amazing. We do need to wrap up, though. Don't forget, if you need anything from me, I am on the Discord. I am on my Facebook page. I'm on my X page every single day. I answer my DMs. Even when I'm at the doctor's office with my kid waiting in a waiting room, I'm going to dedicate my time to helping y'all the best I can, because the community is everything in the games that we play. If you want to come play some War Thunder with us, check out the Twitch channel. If you want to come play Star Trek with us, check out the Twitch channel, and hit me up if you need absolutely anything. And I mean that. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See you on the next one. And last but certainly not least, one more thing. Please, please, please get your alliance mates to do the survey. I'm putting all these links in the chat because we'll be closing that, and then we'll be sending all the results to the Overlord saying, hey, here's what the players said about Wrath of Khan. If you want to make sure that you're included in that, go and drop your opinions in the survey. All right, like the video. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. Thank you so much for loving with me and my family. Huge thank you to those who have donated to the channel tonight, who've signed up on the website. And yeah, really do appreciate every single one of you. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And we're out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.